I, 32F, have finally decided to leave my abusive boyfriend, 30M, of 6 years. How do I do that with a dog, 3 young boys, and fear gripping at my throat? I'm about to sound like that girl because I'm sure I'll be fine. He has only ever hit me twice and it was 4 years ago. I think he realized that the things he said hurt me worse, so he just moved to mentally and emotionally trying to ruin me. When my kids started coming to me after they would hear him yelling at me so they could reassure me that I was good and a lot of people loved me, I knew it was time to go. They're 8, 11, and 13. I had to have brain surgery in February and I don't let it own me. My diagnosis will never go away and now I have a brain injury tacked onto it, but I am and I will prevail. I have gone through all of it: initial illness, fighting for a diagnosis, surgery, rehab to learn to walk again after waking up paralyzed, coming home, without any help from him or even him being involved. Financially, he said my burdens were too heavy to carry. My total bills are around 1K, so even though I couldn't work, I had to pay. I begged my surgeon to let me go back to work 2 months post-op and I've been suffering every day to keep up. I didn't have any other option. Y'all, I have nothing. We had 2 cars, but when I couldn't drive anymore, he sold his and is driving the one that I've paid 14K on over the last 5 years. That's in both of our names, and he won't give it back. He keeps telling me I need to buy a new one. I know I'm rambling, but what do I do now? The house is his. Car is his. He has all of the money and credit cards. We have a dog that I've been training to be my service dog. What if he takes her? Help. He only hit me twice. Imagine that. Imagine even saying that, like it's nothing, just another Monday afternoon. Oh yeah, my boyfriend hit me twice but no big deal. Like, if anything you need to get out just for your kids. Call women's shelters, domestic abuse hotlines. Disable the GPS on your and your kids' phone/computer/iPad. Just turn off all location services, and maybe pick up a disposable in order to stay in contact with someone. Someone outside your kids needs to know your whereabouts. Someone your boyfriend won't suspect. There are resources available, and just know that many women and their children have successfully escaped domestic abuse situations, and you can do this. 1. Where to live. You and yours need to find a safe haven with lockable doors. Maybe even a one-room place, and the kids might have to sleep camping style for a while. Mats, sleepy bags, on the floor. 2. You are going to have to go on assistance, get a new bank account that he does not have access to. Have the monthly statements sent to your email address, no paper mail. 3. You need new phone number, new email, which you only tell a few people who are on your side. You will need some new other accounts too. 4. Call the CC companies and get a new CC in your name only, new account number, etc. Same about the monthly statements. Tell the CC companies your new physical address, your new phone number, your new emails. Have nothing about money sent to the old address. 5. Seek help at your church, your woman's shelter type place, from your county department of social services. There are many resources out there. Use them all. 6. You need a free/cheap lawyer. He needs to pay child support/alimony/take care of the kids with $. Then you got to tell your kids that they do not tell their father where they are living until your lawyer says it's safe. You don't want to risk either a kidnap type deal, or some other sort of sheriff removal. Keep them safe and close at hand. Good luck. I'm going to speculate a lot here. You're very young and you have 3 older children, so it sounds like you may have had a bad situation before too. You are strong enough to get through this. You are not a burden. This is not your fault and life is going to get better. If you have been together for so long, then you may have some claim as a de facto spouse. Good luck with your meeting. You're not wrong. I married my high school sweetheart when I was 18 and we had 3 boys before I could blink. Our marriage was less than great. We divorced in 2013. My heart hurts from your comment about being a burden because that's what he has told me. I feel like a burden. Thank you. I needed to hear that more than you know. I'm going to ask the advocate about the de facto spouse. Get in touch with your local women's shelters, family crisis centers, etc. They will help you get the resources you need. I think you already did the hardest part, which is deciding to leave. Now get help from those resources or maybe friends/family to leave in the safest way possible. Boyfriend exploring foot fetish with coworker. My BF, 34, is into feet. Not my favorite thing, but we do stuff with it because he likes it. I've been uneasy for a while with his relationship with his coworker, F26, for a while. He shares a lot with her, including his sexual likes/dislikes, and sometimes even my likes/dislikes. This doesn't bother me too much, but I found something out recently that makes me uneasy. They text constantly, and I recently found out that they have been discussing his fetish in depth. She even sent him pics after he asked what hers look like. He responded in a flirty way, especially after alcohol. There was no outright sexting, but sort of chatting around the subject. Is it reasonable that I ask him to tone down this relationship, or would that be controlling? Do you guys have an agreement where he can indulge his fetish with other people? Because if not, then at the very least he's emotionally cheating on you. If being okay with your partner cheating on you is controlling, then I don't think you understand what that word means. Most people would be asking him to cut contact, again, unless you're okay with him sexting this other woman. Is it reasonable that I ask him to tone down this relationship, or would that be controlling? It upsets you, doesn't it? You're well within your rights to talk to him about it and voice how it makes you feel. I mean personally, I see it kinda as if she sent him nudes tbh. Pictures catering explicitly to his fetish. I wouldn't be too cool with it, given that they know each other as well. A fetish is sexual. He is engaging in conversations of a sexual nature with her. That is super inappropriate and he needs to stop right now and distance himself from her. That is so gross. My partner has a foot fetish. I couldn't care less about feet but indulge him. However, I would be so incredibly disgusted if he did something like this because again, it is something he considers sexual. Trying to prevent yourself from having any relationships, or forcing them cut contacts for no reason other than you want them to would be controlling. This is not one of those scenarios. He has a sexual fetish that she was well aware of. Best case scenario is she was fishing for compliments. Realistically, however, she's likely into your BF. It was extremely inappropriate of her to send that, and now that it's done it's inappropriate for him to communicate with her outside of a work-related capacity. It would 100% not be controlling to ask your boyfriend to not send sexy messages to another woman, and if he gets sexual pleasure from feet and she's providing that, it's sexting. For me, cheating is a spectrum and you need to decide if this is on that spectrum for you and whether you're comfortable with what he's doing. Personally, I would consider this as a betrayal and it's pretty much the first step towards cheating. So asking him to tone down this relationship is well within your rights. My mom passed away in the middle of a divorce and people are acting like it never happened. TW, death. I'm a bit emotionally drained so please bear with me. My 20F mother, 48F, just passed away. Her and my father, 51M, were in the middle of a pretty messy divorce when she died. They were doing an agreed divorce, no court battles over things, because they wanted to appear civil on the outside but it was really nasty behind closed doors. Right before she died, my dad signed the divorce papers and sent them to my mom. She began having second thoughts on some of the divorce terms, so she delayed signing them to think about things. Long story short, she passed away. My dad signed the papers, she didn't, so therefore, they weren't officially divorced when she died. They're still married. My dad's lawyer filed away the divorce papers like they didn't happen. All of the friends and relatives are acting like the divorce never happened now that she's dead, too. My brother, 14M, and I are stunned. They didn't see the chaos and hell that we saw for the last 6 months. If they did, they would agree that they were separated and not even close to getting back together. It's fucked. So here's my problem. I'm writing my mom's obituary, and the funeral is in 2 days. I'm just exhausted and upset and I don't know what to do. It's already a really hard time and I don't want to cause more hurt. But I want to clear up my mom's name, she can't defend herself. It hurts me and my brother when people comfort my dad telling him how much he loved and cared about her after we saw him treating her like shit for the last few years. I'm having a hard time wanting to write my dad's name as my mom's surviving spouse. I'm just looking for recommendations. I know this is a heavy topic, but I don't know what to do. Edit, a word. Edit. Thank you all for the advice and the kind words. It really means a lot to me and it's what I needed to hear. I love seeing outside perspectives on this situation. Thank you, really. I didn't expect to receive this amount of support. After reading your comments and thinking it over, I think I've decided what to do with the obituary. I think just to go ahead and state the strict fact that my mom was married to my dad is the option I want to go with. They were married for 21 years and that is a pretty significant part of her life. However, I really do love the idea mentioned of also including the personal touch that when she passed, she was reaching independence and she was an amazing woman and mother above anything else. That, to me, is both today I fucked up and puts my mother in a wonderful and truthful light. With everything else, I'm going to do my best to remain strong and stay positive through all of this. It's a sensitive time, everyone is hurting. I'm going to focus on how she was an amazing mother at her funeral. If people ask about their relationship, I'll be honest, but not hurtful. I'll keep it simple and just say they were separated. Thank you once again. Please feel free if you have any more advice past this or have been through similar. This has helped me greatly already. I know it's going to be a long journey ahead and I'm going to have a lot to work through, but I think this has helped me step in the right direction of healing. If you think your father doesn't deserve a mention in her obituary, then you don't have to include him. Maybe you can talk about your mother without mentioning their marriage specifically. From the details you gave, and my understanding of the situation, you could explain that she was taken from her family at a time when she was reaching for her independence, and that the most recent life she led was that of a strong woman and incredible mother. I'm sorry for your loss. I hope you find the strength to get through this. I wish you the best. Survived by her children X and Y, and their father Z. And possibly adding something like after X years of marriage, Mom was ready to start her new path in life with hope and positivity. Think your feelings are valid, but even so, everyone is grieving and it's best in the long run to remain civil. You can tell people that your parents were planning to divorce and had been separated for 6 months. Fact, but keep the gritty details to yourself unless it will make a tactile difference. Your dad knows what he did. What about something like survived by her loving children, X and Y, and their father, Z? In the end, obituaries are used to celebrate the individual and state some lifetime highlights. It is very unusual to use it as a platform to bury the hatchet. Since both you and your sibling are very young, you might still need to lean on your father for financial support for the next few years. Personally, I'd wait to stain/sever the relationship with him until you both are financially independent. It is extremely hard to navigate life without some support system. Essentially use him until you don't need him anymore. If your father murdered your mother, then absolutely leave him out of the obituary. But, most people swallow their pride to paint a generic family portrait even during dubious times. I don't envy your position, but I don't think this is the right vehicle to air your grievances. Maybe you can just rationalize a mention of him as a pure fact and obviously tie no affection, their father, Z. I'm very sorry for your loss.